welcome to Real Talk with Rhonda Knight. I'm so glad you're joining me today because you know what? Today we're going to talk about a subject that I want to know the answer to. That's right, I am so nosy. I'm always looking for the answers. You guys know me. But this one is, what are you afraid of? What makes you scared? What is the thing that gives you goosebumps or makes your skin crawl? What is the thing that makes you scream inside? What is it? You got to tell me. You're going to hear from some people a little bit later that's going to express to you what their fears are, and you're going to learn my fears. I have a few, but there's one in particular. You guys have heard me say it before that I really, 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 really hate. And so we'll talk about that again in just a moment. Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk with Rhonda Knight. All right, well, so today I have LaShawn on the line now. She's got a little static going on in her phone, but so you're going to have to probably push past that. But LaShawn is joining me to tell me what she's afraid of, what really scares her and what makes her maybe nervous, shaking in her boots. Who knows? She can tell me what her responses are to the thing that scares her as well. Hey, LaShawn, welcome to Real Talk with Rhonda Knight.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm great.
Awesome.
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. I can't complain. Guys, by the way, I am feeling 95% better than I've felt in the last couple of weeks. About 3 weeks of fighting off whatever I had, but I feel my energy coming back. I'm excited. I can talk without coughing and sneezing and passing out or whatever. So I'm so happy to be back with you guys. So to answer your question, can I call you Sean?
Yes.
Okay. To answer your question, Sean, I am feeling great. So thanks for asking. Now let's get down to the real question. LaShawn, what is it that scares you?
Snakes.
Snakes? Eek! Oh my God.
No matter what size.
Even the little baby ones?
Yes.
Well, let me ask you, what would you do if you were confronted with a snake, like literally you turned around and there was one right next to you?
Pass out.
But if you pass out, don't you think that snake is going to bite you or wrap around you and eat you, depending on what type of snake it is?
Probably.
So you're going to take that chance?
That's the thing that I imagine that I would do is just
Okay.
pass out.
Just pass out right there. Okay. All right. So what made you afraid of snakes? Is it any experience you've had, or is it just something you just decided, I do not like how they look and I do not want to be around them?
I think it's just what I decided that they look yuck.
They look yuck.
And
Huh?
just, they look slithery and evil.
Okay. Well, they always associate snakes with evil, maybe from some of the things we read in the Bible and or whatever, but they do get a bad rep. Now, I understand you said they look slithery, and the funny thing is, even though I'm not that crazy about snakes, I did get to meet a couple who had snakes at an event that I was doing. We had a stand right next to them, and they had snakes where people could come up and put that big boa constrictor around their neck and take a picture with it. Or they can, hold the little snakes or whatever. And, I couldn't believe my daughter, Amber, actually put a snake on her shoulder because I wasn't putting that snake around my neck. But she did it, and we touched the snake, and they actually don't feel all slimy and slithery or whatever word you used. But they actually feel really warm. Like, it feels like touching an arm or something. It was kind of strange. But I definitely don't want to be somewhere with a snake by myself either.
Right.
Yeah, so do you want to learn things to get over your phobia of snakes, or are you okay with just being afraid of them?
I tried at one time, and
Okay.
I think I jumped back and hit my head.
Where were you at?
I was at a church, and they
Okay.
had a yellow and white snake, and actually I was trying to be okay with my oldest son touching the snake,
Okay.
and actually I told him not to touch it, and I guess he's okay with it, and he touched the snake, and I jumped back and hit my head.
Oh, Lord. Now, wait. Let me just back this up a little bit. You said at a church, right?
Right.
Okay, LaShawn, please tell me you're not. I mean, no offense to anyone and their religion if you go to this type of church, but please tell me it wasn't one of those type of churches that has the snakes where they tell you, like, put your hand in there. If you don't get bit, you're good. Where they use snakes in their ceremonies and things like that. Was it that type of church?
No,
Oh.
it wasn't.
Thank God.
It was not even on a Sunday. It was a wildlife expert, and he had different exotic animals there.
Okay.
For the children to see.
Mm-hmm.
And that scared the living daylights out of me. So.
Okay. All right. So never want to be in a room by yourself with a snake, in the woods by yourself with a snake, in a car by yourself with a snake, snakes on the plane, no snakes on the plane, no snakes anywhere, correct?
Why would they even create a movie like that? That's stupid.
I don't know why they made that, but it was really crazy. Well, you know, one of the things when you talk about snakes, I've heard from people, especially in the South now. I'm originally from Michigan, but I'm in Georgia now. And one of the things I can say is that I hear so many stories from people in the South that tell me things like, did you know that a baby snake, if you come across a poisonous baby snake and it was to bite you, that's more dangerous than an adult snake biting you, because they actually release all their venom into you, where adult snakes know how to control the amount of venom that they put in you. So it's a little bit more dangerous to get bitten by a baby snake as it is as opposed to an adult snake. So that's interesting fact. Other thing is people telling me stories that snakes come right in their house, especially some people I met at an event where I was at, and they were from Texas, and they were telling me that sometimes you can walk in your door and a snake will come right in with you, but you don't see it. I don't like things like that. Now then, I'm definitely feeling a snake phobia, because I don't want a snake in my house. I don't want to see something in the corner. One of my daughters told me that her coworker, I think it was my other sister, she told me that her coworker had a snake in the middle of her hallway having babies outside of the room where her husband and a small child was. So she called in the house and said, oh my God, there's a poisonous snake in the hallway that's delivering snake babies. And he was like, stop playing, quit playing. She's like, no, seriously. And they literally had to go out of the window, come around, and her husband killed the snake. But I'm not even trying to kill a snake. You know, funny story of us, because we don't really see the poisonous snakes. Like in Michigan, you might see a gardener snake here or there. It may be some poisonous snakes, but you don't really see them like you would in the South. And I remember an episode where me and my grandkids, two of my grandkids were just playing around, and I told them I was going to beat them, running to the door. And it was a little skinny doorway, passage or whatever. And they ran past me. I knew I was just playing with them, saying I was going to beat them in the race, which I could if I really wanted to. But they ran past me and they ran up to the door. Next thing I know, they ran back really fast screaming. And I'm like, what's going on? And they said, it's a snake. I'm like, what? And I went up there, and it was, I think it was a copperhead snake. But we didn't know what to do, because we've never had to kill a snake. And I, got my son-in-law, he didn't know what to do. He's tried to get, and I'm going to say this, guys, he tried to get some hedge clippers. I'm like, how are you going to cut the snake's head off with that? It's going to bite you when you're trying to lean down there and cut his head off. No, that's not going to work. My other daughter, she went and got a rake or something stupid. They were just getting like really stupid stuff that I don't think would have worked in killing that snake. And so as I was saying, we really didn't know how we were going to get the snake from by the door or kill it. You can call the animal protection people, and they really don't know. They said if the snake is outside in its environment, it's nothing they can do about it. Like, oh, okay. But literally, we went in through the garage, and we were like looking out the windows, all the girls, my daughters and my granddaughters and myself. And we're like, how are they going to get the snake? And they're like just throwing stuff towards the snake. And just when we all looked out the window, this is the yucky part, they threw a big brick and it hit the snake right on the head. And it was like explosion. It was so nasty. We're like, ah! And he's talking about three generations of people running through the house screaming. We're all just running, screaming. Like, I don't know why we decided to run through the house because we're on the inside, but we ran through the house screaming because it was really nasty. And they killed the snake, but ugh, I don't like that part either. So, yeah, that was my experience here in Georgia. Now, there's certain things in Georgia that makes you want to move back north, but like spiders. And we're going to talk about that in a moment because you guys know that's my biggest fear.
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, is this Carmen?
Yes, this is Carmen.
Hey, welcome to Real Talk with Rhonda Knight. All right, well, hey, I'm sorry about the little squeaky door in the background. I like to have some little scariness going on. No, just kidding. Being that this show is, the topic of this show is, what's your biggest fear? So I thought that sound effect would be really, really nice. Well, thank you for calling in today. Guys, as you know, if you heard on my show, you probably mentioned me, you mentioned me. No, you probably heard me mention that, about my sisters before. I've talked a little bit about Carmen and LaShawn, we call her Sean, and then also Tori. And so today we're going to actually have an opportunity to hear from Carmen, and she's going to talk to us about what her biggest fear is and why. So, Carmen, what would you like to share with us today? What is one of your biggest fears?
Well, let's see. The biggest one is lightning storms.
Lightning storms.
Yes. I can take thunder. That doesn't bother me. But it's the crack, crack, boom that comes after it and the flash of light that comes after it.
Okay. But the thunderstorms, you say, don't bother you, but the crack, crack, boom is the thunder in the storm.
Oh, okay.
So what is it you don't like?
The lightning part.
The lightning part. Okay. So you can take the noise, but you don't like to see the lightning. Why is that, do you think?
The thunder to me is like, I love drum beat, and the thunder is just like a large, loud heartbeat of the Lord. That part doesn't bother me.
Okay. So the thunder doesn't bother you?
No.
But the lightning does. Okay.
Yes.
So you kind of see the thunder kind of like God's heartbeat. Oh, that's pretty cool. I think that's kind of, a nice poetic thing right there. Hey, I think that should even maybe take some of the fear away if you think about it as being God's heartbeat, and maybe the lightning is, His glory. We can look at it that way, right?
I know it's His power and energy. Yes, I do. But
okay.
There's a reason behind the lightning that's more deeper for me.
Well, okay, great. And Carmen, I was just about to get to that part too and ask you why that is. But before we go there, I also want to ask you, so how long have you been afraid of the lightning? And also I want to make a comment too, is one of the things I wanted to do as well. Some people, what's kind of funny about our fears is that what's a fear to us can be something else that can be a joy to others. Like there are people who love spiders, as we all know. That's one of my biggest fears. And they may like, the fact that spiders make these beautiful spider webs to them, or that they control the other part of the insect world, or that they may see them as being beautiful when they look at a spider. But when I look at a spider, it becomes like a 20-foot tall monster to me that's going to eat me up, even if I'm looking at the picture, So, hey. But to other people, they see the beauty. So the same thing with lightning. There are people who love lightning storms or, thunder and lightning storms because they think it's a beautiful sight. So it's kind of interesting how it can flip both ways, don't you think?
Yes. I too know people that say they can sleep very well during lightning storms.
Okay. All right, well, let's get to the juicy part. Tell me what happened that made you afraid of lightning.
Okay, it's very deep. I'll start with this particular lifetime. When I was little, I don't know if you remember, I think it was called braised hamburgers. sort of like White Castles are today. And
okay, yeah, I remember that.
yeah, it was a really bad lightning storm, and the streets were flooding. I think we were in some type of a white car. I don't know if it was Uncle Gene's car or what. And the car was starting to flood, and the water was going up towards my knee and thigh because I was a little bitty girl. That was one incident. And another incident, that first incident wasn't braised hamburgers, but the second incident, the streets were flooding, and Daddy was driving. And it was me, you, and a bunch of our other child family members. And Daddy had to pull into the parking lot of a braised hamburger place. And it was flashes of lights everywhere, lightning striking buildings, electricity going off. And he had to take each child into the braised hamburger one by one and wrestle through the splashing, flooding water. Daddy was quite tall, so he was our hero. And so I was the last child in the back seat that Daddy had to come and get to take into brace. So those few moments seemed like decades in the back seat with water rising and seeing lightning flashes everywhere and power lines going down and stuff. So that was one of the fears, I think, from early childhood that inflicted that fear.
Okay, so with the first time you say you thought you might have been in your Uncle Gene's car, but I thought that was at Braves. So you're saying that first time wasn't at Braves, but
right,
the second
no,
time with your dad was at Braves.
The first time with the Uncle Gene's car, safety was Grandma and Grandpa's house, and so he had pulled into there, and so the water rising up to my knees and thigh, I was able to, have someone take me into Grandma's house, so that was safety. But with the braised hamburger parking lot, no, it took decades. It took forever for Daddy to get me. I was the last kid. I was probably one of the older kids, and so I remember to this day I have like flashback nightmares about being in the vehicle, but in the nightmares it turns into where that water kept rising, covered the vehicle, and I was somehow out of the vehicle and drowning underneath the water, and it became a big body of ocean water.
Well, that
brings another fear of swimming pools and stuff like that.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, and guys, let me tell you my sister Carmen, her stories are always pretty interesting. And as a matter of fact, I think she could be a great author as well because she has some really cool stories and memories of some things that she experienced. So let me ask you this, Carmen. So if, when you were telling your story and with the water rising, as you were saying that you remember, I was getting ready to say that I would have more associated that with a fear of water or drowning as opposed to what was going on outside with the lightning.
Right. It grew into the second fear. Really, let me see, is that my second fear? Yeah, I think you hit on a point. I think that's my second fear.
Okay. And that's
but I got
fear
over my
from the dreams you
I'll
have.
get into that too, because I got over my second fear a little bit. But I'm still under lightning fear.
Well, I hope you're over that second fear because we're about to do a big cruise with about 40 people next month. So you're going to be in a whole lot of water for a few days for quite a few days.
No.
So, hey, yeah, I would be getting over that fear real quick. Like, okay, that was gone. Let me push through my fears, push through the fears. So, hey.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, too. Okay, so those are a couple of your fears, the water or drowning or, and as well as the lightning, not the thunder so much, but the lightning. And so those are a few. So you were saying you got a couple other fears as well? I mean, there are, I think I talked too about a few of my fears too, but my biggest one is spiders. And then I think we'll go to the maybe snakes and centipedes and, well, we can go on and on. But anyway, enough about me. Let's keep talking about you. So,
okay.
But now one thing I do want to tell you guys, when I think about my fears, here's a funny thing. A lot of people in our family are scared of spiders. And sometimes when you're a kid and you see other people respond to certain things, it can make you respond too and think, hey, that thing must be scary because that person's screaming and jumping and running. So it could be something that I saw as a child, other people being afraid. But then when I think about my sister Carmen, I think about, well, that couldn't really be our case because I know I'm afraid, and I hate how spiders look. And even though I saw a lot of people in my family afraid of spiders, in particular, but my sister Carmen is not afraid of spiders. My sister Carmen will go and pick up a spider by his leg and say, it's just a little spider, and carry him and put it outside. All the while that if I'm present when this is going on, all the while with me screaming my head off, oh, my God, oh, hurry, get rid of it. How did you take that? Oh, don't come over here. But she's calmly taking that spider outside. She doesn't want to smash it or squish it. And I don't care what size it is. She's not really too much afraid of spiders. Have you ever came across a spider that kind of scared you?
Okay, so about the picking up of them. The bigger they are, the easier they're for me to pick up.
How nasty is that, guys?
Especially daddy long legs because they have longer legs and skinnier legs, so it's easy to pick them up.
What about a big fat tarantula?
Huh?
Are you gonna? They got fat legs. Are you gonna pick up a tarantula?
I did before, yes, but hold on. And my son had a pet tarantula that the school let him bring home. But anyway, and then I had a spider in my condo basement, and we called him Harry the Spider, and he used to come from the water spout. So here's why, and it's a little deep, why I'm not afraid of spiders. Because our mom said that when I was a little tiny baby, I had a baby crib up in Aunt Ruby's attic, and there was a lot of spiders up there. And so she said one day she got this inkling to go check on me, and she came up the attic steps and into the dark attic and over to the baby crib, and she said there was a gigantic spider over me, about to crawl on my face. And the spider didn't bite me. It probably was talking to me, and I was probably talking baby talk to it. But ever since I was a baby, I've always had a spidey sense, as they say with the Spider-Man movie. I can sense, like, eyeballs in the back of my head and around my head. I can sense where they are, what corner they're in, if they're underneath something. If they try to run, because others I have to kill the spider for them. Sorry, little Spidey. Well, some of them are quite big.
Wow.
Okay,
but guys, I hope you like this show.
I can sense where they are and get them. The same thing with yucky centipedes.
Okay.
That's
so
enough.
Let me. So speaking of the fact that my sister just talked about having eyes going all like around her head, kind of like how ugly spiders have all those eyeballs. So that takes me back to our other subject, guys, from another show that you guys just witnessed, and that was about UFOs and aliens. And I mentioned to you about my sister Carmen, And so since I'm kind of interviewing her here for the second interview, and you'll also hear LaShawn interview as well if you haven't heard it before this one. It'll be either before or after this one, but which is my other sister. Here's the thing. She missed a chance to call in on that day to talk about aliens and UFOs. But now, and I want you guys, I might do a poll on this too, like I did the poll about aliens. Do you believe in aliens, yes or no? My poll this time may be that, do you believe that my sister Carmen is an alien, yes or no? Because when she talked about those eyeballs being like all around her head, I thought about maybe she was abducted. I don't know.
Well, as you know, there can be many types of things that we can be afraid of. There are people who are afraid of lightning, people are afraid of flying in planes, people are afraid of water, heights, snakes, spiders. My fear, I hate spiders, yucky, yucky. Do you know how hard it was for me to put that picture of that spider, first of all, save it, and then put it up? Okay, I was over here tripping. I was like, don't look at it, don't look at it. Okay, save it, save it. Yeah, I was acting real silly by myself. And of course, I thought there has to be a spider by my foot because I'm looking at the spider on this picture. Okay, so sometimes our phobias can get the best of us because your imagination goes wild. But, so what is a good lesson in this whole thing of getting over our fears? One, it's easier for people to say, oh, spiders, step on that spider and crush it, or snakes, oh, they're not going to bother you if you leave them alone. People who are not afraid of the things that you are afraid of, they always have their opinion how you can get over those things. But here's the thing, there are going to be things in our life that scares us, but we can't let it consume us. We can't we can't let it overtake us and just kind of rule our life and with so much fear. God said he didn't give us the spirit of fear. So we do have to try to control those feelings. And even though sometimes we still may show them, but let's not let it take over our lives. So we still got to make it, y'all. We still got to go through, do all the things that we need to do and just skip around those fears and those phobias, okay? But I really appreciate you guys sharing with me on this show. A little bit different because I didn't get to do the radio portion of it, but you know what? It's all right. You still heard my opinion. And thank you so much. And thank you to LaShawn for sharing with me about her fear of snakes. Really appreciate it. And by the way, LaShawn is my sister in Michigan. Hi, Shawn. Thank you for calling in. Hey, well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Like I say, I like to keep it real. Do some fun things, talk about some things that we all think about or that we kind of question or wonder about, and just to share with each other. Life is so short. I think that it's so important to just touch a life, and even if it's by laughter of something you may see in some of the videos that I do on Real Talk with Rhonda Knight. So I really, really hope you guys enjoy being a part of my life. Like I said, I really enjoy you being a part of it as well, and I look forward to talking with you guys on our very next show. Now, the next subject, as I told you in the very beginning of the shows that I've done, that once a month we're going to talk to someone that has experienced an amazing story of something that they had to overcome, something that they may have went through, a true story that I'll always have a guest share with you, or either share some of the other stories of people I've interviewed over the years on my television and radio show. And so I have a very special young lady that I'm going to be interviewing for the month of October. As you know, October is National Awareness Month for domestic violence. So we're going to take it to a little serious level, but I don't want you to think that, it's serious. I don't want to see what's going on. No, I want you to hear this young lady's testimony of a situation that happened with her mom and what it was like for her and how she was able to overcome that, and what it's like for her even being a mom now. So it's going to be a great show. You definitely want to tune in. I definitely want you also to comment. So we will be talking about this show on our next radio show on blogtalkradio.com/Rhonda Knight. So make sure you call in and leave comments, ask some questions if you like, but mainly stay tuned and listen. You want to hear a person's story. You want to sympathize with people because we are humans, and as human beings we need to connect with each other. We need to do what it takes to make a difference, and that's why it's very important to me with all the outreach that I do for those who are survivors, those who have survived violence, dating violence, domestic violence, rape, assault, whatever it is, stalking, other type of abuse. If you've been through some things, then you know what it's like. But if you haven't been through those things, then I hope that you would have a heart to hear someone's story. And maybe our whole goal is to get people involved to make a difference. Let's see what we can do this month in October 2019 to make a step towards helping to stop what's going on with so much violence in this world, especially dating violence or domestic violence or assault. And it's very important that we stand up as a nation. So there's many ways to get involved, to make a difference, and we'll talk about some of those on our next show as well. So make sure you check out that next video on Real Talk with Rhonda Knight on Facebook as well as on YouTube. And as always, I need you guys to follow me on Facebook, like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, hit that notification bell, and then like me as well. And share the videos. Share my videos with other people that you think it would be a blessing to. And I really appreciate you. And I thank you all for your support. And I will see you on the next Real Talk with Rhonda Knight.
Yeah. She's a blessed survivor. Real talk. An author. Rhonda Knight. And an entrepreneur. Let's go.
Real